So let's start our session. So yesterday we are having our day one, and we went through the what is SAP and what is ERP system. So SAP is nothing but a system application and products in data processing, and it's a leading ERP software in current market. And SAP ABAP is a programming language that is used to develop any SAP ERP software. Then we went through different modules in SAP, and those were categorized in two parts. One is functional, and the another one is technical. So in functional, we were having like that is material management, sales and distribution, FICO, and many more. And in technical modules, we are having SAP ABAP, then SAP HANA, NetWeaver, Fiori, UI5, and other modules. Then we checked three tier in SAP, that is presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. And we went into the system and we have seen like how this presentation layer, application, and database layer communicates with each other using a demo program. So today we will go through the SAP system. I mean SAP GUI, how it looks, how it works, what are the different components in our SAP system. So before that, we'll go with the ABAP for system landscape. So let's see what is this one. So in any software ERP company, we have three landscape. So mainly in SAP, the first system is development. Okay. So what is our development system? So this server is responsible for all the development based activities. That means where all the development related activities are done by the technical developers or functional consultant to configure the system. So this is basically known as sandbox client also. So there we develop custom objects, we change the existing object, and we test it locally. That is unit testing. All are done in this development system. So it helps business companies undergo trial and error for expanding their business ideas without any real-time consequences, because we are doing all the modification of codes or configuration in the development system. So we don't have any real-time exposure to the outside world. So using this development server, business consultant or the management team do new customization or can write new program as per their requirement. So here, what as a technical consultant will do, we will invest maximum time here on the development server. Then the next system is quality system. So now once the develop once the any customization or development has been done to any one of the object, it is moved to the quality system. So in quality system, we test the customization or programs what is done in the development system. So let's say we have created some of the programs, custom programs to achieve some business requirement. So we have done it in development system as object A. We have moved those object A to the quality system, and in quality system we will test the object A. So this has separate section, namely testing server and training server. So in this quality system, we test our customized object, and also we are using with the test data to train the server. Once we find any issue with the our objects, again we will go back to the development system. We will do our customization, and again we will move it to the quality, and again we will retest it, because quality is nothing but a testing system. Once in testing system, once everything is tested successfully by the test team, then the next system is our production system. So last one is the production system. Yeah. So production system is also known as golden client. So this is a SAP landscape where data reaches after all the integration in the quality, customization that is done in development. So after customization and integration, all the final code reaches to our production system. So this is the main server that maintains document of all the live data of business companies. So whenever we deploy any changes, finally it reaches to production system. Because if it is in development or in quality, there is no use of it. So once our customized objects or any object reaches to production, then it will be acted as a project go live. And if any issue comes in the production, let's say during any real time, we are working for finance module, and for any reason, any payment is failed, then we cannot fix the bug here. If it is related to customized logic, we have to come back here in the development. We need to fix it. Again, that code will be moved to the quality. In the quality, we will test it with the integration and testing team. And again, the same code will be moved to the production. And it will be exposed to the real world entity. So this is much about system landscape in SAP system. So we will deal with development system. Our 90% task will be related to development system, because as a ABAPer, as a technical consultant, we will work on development system. We will prepare our unit test document. Unit test document is a document which is prepared by the developer for his own functionality. And that UTD will be handed over to the testing team, and the testing team will prepare their own testing document using integration or user acceptance testing in the quality system. Once that is done or approved, then using those helping documents, the same object will be moved to production system. So this is about system landscape in SAP system. So let's move to our SAP login because we need to spend more time in technically in GUI. So we have seen yesterday how to log in into the remote server and all. So yeah, let's do it again. So we'll open our remote desktop connection. Yeah. So we are on our virtual desktop and here you can see we have SAP logon. Here the symbol is of SAP logon. So on click of this, you can see the title bar. It is written SAP logon 750. So 750 is nothing but a product version of SAP. So currently we are using 750 version. Inside this, on the left side, we can have a folder like workspace, local, testing, development wise, we can have it. And in each folder, we will have list of systems here. But as of now, here in this project, we have only one system that is ABAP HANA and system ID is S4H. We are having the server 192.168.7.229 and instance is 01. So let's say you are having these details, but the system is not listed here. In that case, what we will do? So we will go with the variable login. We'll click more, next, and here you will get the system details from the administrator. So they'll provide you application server, instance number. So instance number is this section. It will be 0102 or any number. Then system ID. System ID is ID of the system where it will be recognized where it is related to which project or which environment. So S4H is development system here. Maybe some Q4H will be related to quality and P4H will be related to production system. So after entering the all data, if we'll click on the next and we'll submit, the same system ID will be generated here. We can see those details on this screen. This is one option, and the another option you can see is this create a symbol. So if we'll click on this, we can select connection, and on this connection, the same screen will open and you can add your system. If it is not on the list, but for our case, we have it our system on the screen. So we'll just double click on it. So this is SAP GUI logon screen. So on this screen, you can see some menu bar options are there and toolbar options are available here. And after this, we have client, user ID, and password. So what is client? So to get any information on the screen, if you are not aware of anything, just simply press Control plus F1. So I'm clicking F1 here on this icon. Okay, so function code cannot be selected here, it is saying. So once we'll log in into the system, we'll see this option, pressing of F1 to get the information regarding documentation and technical information. So what is a client? So client is a three-digit number starting from 000 to 999. Okay, so it is possible to have a multiple client for a system. So currently we are in A4H system. So we can have 1000 clients in this system starting from 000 to 999. So we need to select the correct client here. So currently we are using 400 client. This will be provided by your system administrator or the SAP basis people. And the also along with client details, you will be shared with the user and password. So let's use our credential for this. So once I have entered the username and password, we have logon language. So currently on the screen, we can see English language is there. So there are other options as well, like German, French, and other languages. So currently we are interested with English language. So we'll click enter. Once we click enter, this is the initial screen of the SAP GUI. So here we can see many menu options are there. On application toolbar, this is the save button. The second icon, which is grayed out, is back. Then up or log off button. Then we have cancel button, and these are the many more options available on the toolbar. Like print option is there, find next. If we are dealing with the multiple page document, then first page, last page, or next page. We have new GUI screen here and generate section, and we can have a user settings options here. And on this, on the left side, we can see user menu for the current user. So this is saying user menu for best. Best is nothing but our logon user ID here. So we can see on left side, list of objects are mentioned here, either in form of transaction code or as a node. So yesterday we have checked what is a transaction. So transaction is nothing but a shortcut to run any program. The program may be dialog program or simple classical program or any other type of program. So this is a shortcut. So let's selecting any one of the node here. So let's, for simplicity, we'll click on SM59. So what is this T code? SM59. This is RFC destination. So if we'll double click, it will call that program and we can have our activities here. So this is one option to execute any transaction code. So you can see the list is big here and not all the T codes are listed here. So the user, for this user, these many T codes has been configured. If we'll close this node, then we will get a favorite folder here. So in favorite folder, we can add our own frequently used transaction code. To how to add this, we'll go on this, right click here. Then we have insert transaction. So let's say we will insert any transaction. I'm interested to have it SE93. On click of OK, node added to the work list. So on the top, you can see SE93 transaction code is added. So on click of this, the next program related to SE93 transaction code is opened here. So this is one way. You can select it either from the favorites or from the user menu, or in this search bar, you can enter your transaction code. So I'm entering SE93. So this is calling the same program. Okay, so we'll close this. Then yeah, we'll move ahead with the next UI items. This is very important section. At the bottom, you can see this space is known as a status bar. So on the status bar, all the error messages during the program or warning or success message will be displayed here on the status bar. And we have some information. So if we'll click on this, we have system details that in A4H, we are in first session and client is 400. Current user is best and the program. So for any screen in SAP GUI, there is a underlying program. So for this screen, we have this program. And for this program, session manager in the transaction code. And these are the other details as well. So if you want to show the transaction code here in the status bar, simply click on this and just uh, click on the program. So whenever you will log in into your system, this section will be shown as a program. If you want to check the user, let's say you are dealing with the multiple clients or the multiple users. So depending on that, you can mark client or user for the bottom to check the system details. So let's put system so that we can see in which system we are working. Right. So So this is the main section. We call it command line section. So we enter any command here. So command in the form of transaction codes here. So this is SAP login basic UI elements and the menu and the status bar. So we have one more section here. So let's say you want to open a new session. So let me minimize this one. Yeah. So let's say you want to deal with two different programs and you want a multiple screen, multiple GUI login. So you can click on the new GUI window. That is this icon. So once we'll click this, a new window will be open for this one. And this using this one, you can work on the multiple objects at the same time. So you can see the system is same, but the session is termed as 2. That means we are in second session. If we'll open one more, then yeah, this is the third session with the same user and client. So we can have, by default, we can have up to 6 sessions for a system. But yeah, that can be reduced or increased by the SAP basis people from the configuration part. According to the user preference, we get some option for the customization of layouts. So on click of this last icon, we have options, then clipboard options and different options are there. So once you get into the system, you can try the different options. So let's say you want to change the settings of keyboard or visualization settings, then yeah, you can come here and you can change those settings. So let's say this theme, you are not liking this theme or you are interested for some dark theme, then you can select here theme preview settings, and according to your preference, you can maintain the settings and you can click on apply or OK. So these options you can maintain, and this section is called as user setting. So depending on the user, you can have your own settings. So yeah, we'll close this one. So let's figure it out what is this one. So we'll go for SE38, any random program. We don't have much. So we have an SAP standard program and we want to search for some of the keyword. So we will go with Control F and a find window will be open. So this is local to this page. What does that mean? That means you can we can scroll here. So this is termed as one page. So if we are searching, let's say I'm searching with field, and if we'll find, then whenever the field is available on this current page, it will be searched here. Okay. So on click of select all, we got to know 169 occurrence of fields are available in the year. So this is very handy when you will do any development or customization in the screen. You will get to know this find option with replace and match case. And we have one more button here on the top, this find. So this will act as a global search. So we'll search with the fields only. And you can see first it searched on this program, and let's see what are the different programs for which it searched. So in this example, we have only one program. So it will search for the globally. Globally means if you click on this icon, this display object list, kind of hierarchy looking like symbol. So if this is the main node of this object, so whatever we will search using this option, it will be searched in all the sections. It will be searched in dictionary structure, fields, events, and many more. So we can search globally or locally using this option. So I think we are pretty done with the SAP logon here. So let's move into more technical here regarding the naming convention in the system. So So in SAP system, there are many type of objects are available, and being a SAP developer or being a technical consultant for SAP ABAP, you will deal with multiple objects in form of variables, then importing parameters, exporting parameters, classes, interface, then RFC connection details, constants, and many more. So SAP in SAP system, we follow some of the guidelines for naming convention so that without going into the system, while looking at the variable name, we can get what variable is created and what is its type and also what is its purpose of creating this. So the very first is a variable name. So for variables, so variables are nothing but a placeholder for any value. And for this, we can have a name, English like name. Let's say you want to store a name and a salary of a employee. So simply you will have name variable as a name, or you can have a first name. Let's say you want to define a variable for salary. So simply we will write a salary. And so the variable name should be like of English name so that it will be easily recognized or easily understandable by the users. So in ABAP, the variable names are case insensitive. That means whether you write this or this or this. So all the three will be treated as the same variable. But in other language where the variables are case sensitive, these three are treated as three different. But in ABAP, these three will be treated as the same variable. That means ABAP is a case insensitive language. Okay. So this is for variables. Then in some of the system, not some of them, many system, we follow, we'll, we'll discuss more what is class, how it works and all in the upcoming session. But yeah, as of now, just we are dealing with the naming convention. So for class, we type like first two character as CL underscore and then a name of a class. So for example, we can have CL demo output. So by looking into the naming convention, we can say, okay, this is a class in SAP. So this is a SAP standard deliver class. But if we want to create a class in our local I mean in customer namespace, then the naming convention will be just we will append z or y, zcl underscore or ycl underscore, and we will have our own name. For an example, we can have zcl employee data process. So this is a class naming convention. Similarly, we have interfaces. So for interfaces, we have like if underscore and your name for the interface. And in customization, we can have zif underscore and the name. Or similarly, we can have it for y. In the customer namespace, either we can create with Z, that is Z, or Y. In class, the next section is the methods. So methods is nothing but a action or a objective for which this method is created. So for an example, method get employee data is created for getting the employee data from the database, or we can have a set salary or get address. These kind of methods we have in our class, and the naming convention should be like, by looking at the method name, the user can get to know, okay, this method is using to getting employee data from the database. Instead of this, if we'll write like method 1 or method 2, then the functionality will work, but we are not sure what does this method 1 or method 2 does. So for this, we need to get into the method and we need to check the code lines for this, and then only we can say, okay, this method is using for getting the employee data. So instead of using method 1, method 2, like generic name, we will use a specific name for what purpose it has been created. Then we have in the method section, we have importing and exporting parameter. So for importing parameter, we will write like naming convention will be im underscore and your name. Similarly, for exporting parameter, we will have ex underscore and our exporting parameter name. So these are the naming conventions for methods parameters. And additionally, we have a result. So after performing some action, a method returns the result. So for that, we write re underscore and our name as part of method name. So there are many more in the system. So these are the basics one. And once we'll get into the system, or when you will start developing your own object, then you will deal with many objects. And for each object, you will have your naming convention according to the guideline. So we need to follow that so that it will be easy for maintenance. So the different user can get this information, and yeah, they can use it very easy. So in next section, we will go with the program here. So let's go back to our system. So now, so we'll create our first program here. So for creating our first program, that is report program, we execute transaction as SE38. So SE38 is used to create a program. So let's get into the system. So this is command line. So on the command line, we can type SE38 transaction code. On click of SE38, this screen will open. So a search box will be opened for entering the program. And once you enter the program, either you can display, change, or create it. And we have other objects like source code variant, attributes, text elements, and documentation. We'll check one by one what does this sub objects do. So let's create our first program as, since we are in customer namespace, we'll write Z and we will write test, and we will have our name. So for this, we will enter today's date, that is 10/7/2024, and we are dealing with the first program. So let's check this. So we have found the namespace of this, and we will try to display it. So on the status bar, you can see a message is coming that program this does not exist. So we will create it. On click of this create button, the option is available to enter some of the external details like title, I mean description for this program. So we'll write test our first program. Say then the original language is English and the type. So here we have different types of program. Very first is executable program. So for which we will select this option, because on click of F8, we will execute this program. So we'll select this one, executable program. Then we have include program. So in include program, we have uh, different objects written here, and that will be included in one of the executable program or module pool or any other uh, program types. But if we'll create an include program, it will not be executed directly. Then we have module pool program. So that is used for creating a dialogue programming or dialogue user programming, or we call it screen programming also. We have function groups. In function group, we create function modules that is used for modularization technique. So for modularization techniques, function groups, subroutine pools, these are used. Class pool, under this we create class and methods type of program, and these are the rarely used program types in SAP. So mainly you will deal with executable program, that is type 1, M, I, F, S and K. So since this is our first executable program, we'll select this option. We have some more options. So yeah, we'll discuss it later, or once you will get into the system, you can try these all options. So let's click on save. Now it is asking for a package, but as of now, we will. So why this is asking for package? At the very first time, we have discussed three different SAP system landscape. That is development, quality, and production. So once we will save this in a local object, that means we are saying the controller to do not transport this object to the quality. So to transport any changes or to move any changes from development to quality, we need to have a package for it. So if we'll click on the F4 help, this is F4 help. So one click of this button, we will get different packages here. So we can see the list of packages here, and depending on our requirement, we can select any one of them. So once we will select this or save this, then in the quality system, the same program will sit under this package. But yeah, we are checking for just for our testing. So either we can type local object here, or you can type it $TMP. So anything is fine. So let's click on the local object. So this is our report screen. You can say it here. So we have chosen the name as this one, and this is a report. And this is the code editor. We call it SE38 code editor. And on this screen, you can write the business logic. So as of now, we will display a test message on the screen. So to display any test message or any message on the screen, we use write keyword. So WRITE. And let's say this is our first program. So we'll see hello world program. So whenever we write any string, we enclose it with single colon, and at end of the statement, we write this dot. In SAP language, this dot is called as period. Okay, so we have written just right this message on the screen. On click of this button is activated. So once you have written any code or you have changed anything on the screen, you have to activate it. So let's click on this button. So on click of this activate button, this object is selected and this object is created by us. So since this is already selected, we can click on continue, the very first icon. So once clicked on the continue, we can see a success message that object is activated. That means now if we will run this code, we don't have any warning or any error message for this. Now, how to execute this report program? So if you are using a Windows application or Windows laptop and you are not using a VDI, that is virtual desktop, then directly you can press F8. That is one option. And second option is select the program menu and here you have execute. And execute, you can click on direct proceed. So same F8 button is there. Or third option is just right side of activate button. We have direct processing icon inbuilt on the toolbar. We can click on here. So on click of this is the output screen. And here we can get our text message. Hello world, this is my first test program. And this one is the test. Our first program is nothing but a title or description of our report program. On the screen, we can see some of the menu are available. This is back, exit, or cancel button according to the programs. So just we'll click on the back button and we are back on the screen. Let's say I want to change this message. Just I want to write hello world. So what we will do, we'll change it according to our need and we'll try to execute. So when I'm trying to execute it, it is saying this object. This object is nothing but our report name. So this is inactive or has been changed. Please save and activate. So let's save this. I have saved it. Let's activate. Let's run it. Again, I am getting this is inactive. Please save and activate. And this right side message, you can see it. This is status of this report program. So currently this is in inactive state. That is why we are getting this message. Then how to get rid of this message? Simply we will activate it using this icon. We'll select it This is activated. We got a success message, and also you can see active is status is set to active. Let's try now. Now, yeah, on the screen, we can see our newly changed text is available. So, what we have understood here, for any change on the screen, we have to activate the program. Then only this will be effective as a latest code and this status will be in active. Let's on the screen just I have clicked on space and just save it. So now again it came into inactive state. So just activate it. Currently this is in active state. So this is a very first demo program using write statement to the user. So we have some more option in write statement. Let's say we are writing same hello world. So let's say let's execute this. So I want the output as in first line, I need hello world, and in second line, I need this. This is my first program. So for that, let's try writing this option. We'll write two write statement. Let's check whether it works or not. So for each changes, we are activating it. So yeah, let me activate it. Yeah, this is activated. Let's run it. No, even if we are writing the right statement in two different lines, the control is not behaving as a separate line. So for this, what we need to do, we need to write skip. Skip is a keyword which is used to skip the line. So let's try executing now. So yeah, we can see there is one line skipped after hello world. So this is one way of checking the right statement on the selection screen. And the other option is we can introduce, let's execute it first. Okay, this is not active. Yeah, in the same line it is coming. We can type this symbol that is backslash. So on click of this, we can see the text is written in the next menu. So there are many variants of this write statement. So you can try it with the required behavior on the screen output. So some of them we can discuss it now. Let's say I want this output as like this should be displayed here, and after 10 spaces is and after 10 spaces my should be displayed. So for that we can write like we can give the values here. So we can change it. This colon is in ABAP. This colon is called as chain operator. So whenever we are writing this, then on click of comma or separated by comma, all the statement will be treated as the right statement itself. So let's see how it works now. So we are writing this 10, then this 20 is, then we at 50th position, I need this all. Okay, some error is detected. So let's see what is the error. We'll click on the edit. The last statement is not complete. Period is missing. So yes, last statement is terminated with comma, but we have to put a dot here. So let's try to activate it now. Yeah, it got activated. Let's run it. So you can see on the output, let's remove this first statement. So when we type a single star at the very starting of any line, that line will be treated as a comment. So you can see the color of this two lines are grayed out. That means these two lines are commented as of now. So let's activate it. So you can see after 10 spaces, this, then again after 10 spaces, the next character, next string, and after some more spaces, my first program is written. Why? Because we have given the length of the screen on the screen output. So here, let's say 10 is here, 20 is this line on the output, if you see. So the very first number is treated as 0, 1, 2. Similarly, this section will come as 10, then 20, 30, 40, and this line is coming as 50. So for that, we are getting this output. So we have much more variance with the right statement. So you just go into the system and try with those all. And if you have any issues with the any one of the statement, yeah, please let me know. We can discuss it in detail. Okay. So for writing this, let's say we need today's date, like and or today's time or system user details. So for that in SAP, we have system variables. So to get the system variables, we will first we'll save it. Yeah, we will go into SE11 and we will type as SYST. This is ABAP system fields. You can check it here. And we have many fields here. Say index is there, page number, tabix, T field. Similarly, we have n number of objects listed here for SYST. But the frequently used system variables are, let's go into our program. So to get any system variable, simply we will write sy hyphen and we will click control space to get the different options. So let's say we are interested for the today's date. So for today's date, you can see when you will click on this, a message is coming, current date of application server. So we'll just select it. So yeah, you can see today's date is coming as 10/7/2024. So the format is MFDDYYYY. Let's getting the time now. So for time, we write use EIT. And one more variable. Let's check with the current user. Which user is using this system? So in the program, we'll use SYUname. So on click of this button, we can see date is this and the current system time is this one and the current user is BEST. So if you want to use other system variables, then yeah, simply you can double click on SY or any variable. So that is called forward navigation. So if you click on this, it will navigate to the system or in the screen where it is defined or implemented. So this SYST is the structure and it has all these values here. So since we have clicked on the SY, it went there. Let's click on the datum. So directly it will go to the this space datum. So what is this? This is a current date of the application server. So this server is called as application server. In yesterday's class, we have seen this. So this is then yeah, we have talked about user settings as well. And we have talked about ABAP programming. Then yeah, let's check about the data types. What are the different data types available in the system in SAP? So in data types, mainly we divide into three parts. First one is elementary data types. And the second one is complex. And third one is reference data types. So we'll go into detail for the elementary data types first. So for elementary, we have another two options. So one is predefined data types, and the second one is user defined. So for predefined data types, we have type C. Type C, that means a character type data type. If you want to store any character or any string, then we define that variable as a type C. And type C, if we'll write type C, that means it will be used to store only one character, that is of length 1. But if we are interested to store more than one character, then we have to define this variable with the length. So if we are writing this as type C length 5, then this variable will be used to store the string value up to length 5. So type C is there. Then we have type N, that is num-C. We call it num-C, that is number along with characters. The numbers will be treated as character. It will be not treated as a normal integer in the calculations. Then we have integer, that is numerical data types. We have D, that is date data type. T as a time data types. And for storing the decimal values, we have P or F to store floating values. And we have a string also to store the string values. So these comes under the predefined data types. Okay. Now for user defined data types, we have two options. We have work area that we call as a structure also. And second, we have internal tables. So these two are termed as the user defined data types. So when in upcoming session, we'll see how to define these data types in the system, and we'll spend more time on the internal tables, as this internal table and structure, that is user defined data types, are the most important data type in SAP ABAP. And in the same, we can call this as complex data type as well. So let's put it here. User defined or complex. And in reference data type, we have class reference variable. So if you have created any class and methods and you want to use those methods, then yeah, we have to create a variable of type class reference. So these are the data types available in SAP system. So let's check. So after this, we have conditional operators in ABAP. So what are the conditional operators available here? So we have if else, then we have switch, and we have COND conditions. So these are the conditional operators, and for iterators, or we call it loops. So for this, we have three type of loops in SAP ABAP. First one is while loop. The next one is do while. And the third one is loop at internal table. So we'll discuss these two in the next session, that is tomorrow. And regarding the loop at internal table, we will discuss it once we will cover internal tables. So these are the types of loops into SAP ABAP. We'll check this in the system, that is in SE38 report program also. And in these loops, we have control statement. Like we have exit, continue, and stop. These values are treated as control statement. So, any questions as of now from any one of the participants? So, I treat this as no. So, we are done with the today's session, and in the upcoming sessions, we will have more hands-on practice in our SAP GUI. So today we have seen regarding the SAP login, and we have created our very first report program, and we have displayed some of the text messages on the screen output. But going ahead, we will make use of these data types, conditional operators, iterators, and we will discuss some data dictionary objects. So data dictionary objects is a very important topic in SAP ABAP. So when you will work in a real-time project, then as a technical person, so this data dictionary will come into picture in day-to-day life. So 70 to 80% time you will spend on the data dictionary objects. So in data dictionary objects, some of the objects are like database table, views, domain, data elements, search helps, lock objects. There are many more. So yeah, we'll discuss it one by one. So please let me know. The session is open for next 2 minutes for any question and answer. So yeah, and after that we'll close this call.
Mohan, server will be given for how many months?
Sorry, Avinash, can you come again?
Server, GUI,
Yes.
SAP, it will be given for how many months for practice?
Okay, so I'll let you know for this one. I have noted this question down. So yeah, we'll inform you soon. But yeah, for upcoming 3 months, at least for upcoming 3 months, you are having your own server. So that is assurance from the team. But yeah, let me check for the confirmability of this message.
Hi, Mohan.
Yeah, see Lakshmi.
Yeah, for practice, we need a software, right?
So to practice, if you are enrolling with UNOGIGS Training Institute, then they will provide you a virtual desktop. And
Okay.
inside this, you will have the pre-installed software into the system. So let me open this desktop for you. So you will be
Okay.
provided by this VDI. So
Mm,
using your own personal laptop or computer, you can log in into this desktop. And using this virtual desktop, you are having all the pre-installed software available. Let's say SAP Logon is there and SAP HANA Studio is there. So no need to install any additional software. Simply you just double click on the SAP Logon and you can
mm.
start working on the SAP GUI.
Okay, Mohan.
Yeah, so those details you can get it in their website or directly mailing this or calling this number.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, I'm taking these two queries and will yeah try to get this information for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, any other questions?
What is the exact duration for this course?
Yeah. So ideally, this is planned for 60 to 70 hours. So that will, if we'll talk 5 days in a week for 1.5 hours per session, then it will end in at least 9 to 10 weeks. So approximately you can take it as 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, but since this is a technical session, so the involvement of the participant in a practice way, that is hands-on experience, is much required. So going into the system, playing with the different objects, that is recommended as part of this section. Because let's say we are covering loops. So in loops, there are many difficulties will be there once you will be working on this. So better to get your hand dirty into the system and you will get to know what are the different errors you can encounter during the development and you can fix it. So much more time is needed from the practice side. So any other questions? If not, then yeah, we are on time, so we can close this call. Okay, colleagues, thank you then. Yeah, we'll see you in the next session. Thanks a lot for joining the call.
Thank you,
Have a
Mohan.
nice day. Yeah.